superstar Sixer, and front office didn't have that in their future plans. You know what I mean? So like it's literally out of my control. It's something that I didn't want to happen. I'm assistant being in this position, but I got to make a decision for my family. I understand this is a business. You know what I mean?
What's up, world? Welcome back to Charge the Game podcast. I'll be your host here, Chuck. The first thing I want to ask is, why is James Harden lying? Why is James Harden putting up this puppy dog face like he seriously wanted to be a 76er for life? But before I continue to talk about this, I want to ask you guys to do me a huge favor, man. Hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so you guys can continue to get the latest when I drop my sports media takes. Okay, James Harden. How in the hell are you going to come out with this narrative and say that you wanted to retire a 76er for life, but the front office had different? You mean the front office had different when, you went out and blasted Daryl Morey and they saw how Daryl Morey was so loyal to you. He was willing to, not only did he pave the way for your NBA career in, Houston, not only did he do that, but he literally left that organization and waited patiently to lure you to the 76ers franchise. And you literally go out and blatantly disrespect this man and blast him in front of the whole world for everybody to see it because you were pouting because you were promised that you were going to get traded to the Los Angeles Clippers, where you really want to go. Let's just be real. That's where you really want to be. And you threw a tantrum and you threw a fit and you came out like a soft ass baby and called this man out who really looked out for you. So when the front office saw your type of loyalty and they saw your type of tangibles, they no longer want to do business with you. And I don't blame them. There is no loyalty with a guy like you, James Harden. So James Harden is coming out trying to plead this pathetic case and literally put on in front of the camera. This guy's a great actor. I mean, I'm just calling it like it is. This guy's a great actor because there is no way in hell you want us to sit back and believe that you wanted to be a 76er for life, right? You can't tell us that when you have literally been pushing to get your way and to get to Los Angeles Clippers, where you are from. You are a Southern California kid, right? Paul George, LA. Kawhi Leonard, LA. It just makes the perfect sense in the world for you to go over there. Obviously, you want to be where the nightlife is, the partying is, and also to be in a celebrity limelight. You aren't getting that in Philly. And if anything, we could have saw you being a Houston Rocket for life. That's where you got your shine on. That's where your career was paved. That's where you made a name for yourself. What do? You cry to get out of there to go to Brooklyn. You cry to get out of Brooklyn and go to the 76ers. Now you're crying to get out the 76ers to go to LA. I've never seen an NBA player have their way as much as James Harden is having his way right now. I mean, it just makes no sense to me that these organizations are putting up with this type of foolery. I will give him kudos. At least his fat ass is showing up and actually participating in 76ers basketball. At least he's not shutting down like Ben Simmons and playing weak. But we do know that James Harden will put on that fat suit in a heartbeat if he does not have his way. And quite frankly, if I'm an NBA player in that locker room, I don't really want to be around a lot of men who don't want to be here with me. You're either all in or you're not in at all. And at this point, James Harden is causing constant confusion because he's just doing what his representation is telling him to do, probably what his agent is telling him to do, and that's to carry and conduct himself as an NBA professional as such. And that's exactly what James Harden is doing. And I'm not going to take that from him. But we all know that with this bullshit of an act that he's putting on, talking about, I got to do what's best for my family. What family? All we see is you, little baby. All we see is you partying with video vixens and strippers and throwing money and living your life. I don't see family in the picture at all. And it's not my business to wonder where your family is, but you're the last person I thought was a family man. I'm quite sure you take care of those that you love. I'm not taking that from you, but please don't come out here with this sad ass representation of a family as the image of why you are pursuing a different team right now, right? Because you and your representation are pushing the LA Clippers to go above all and beyond any means necessary to land you over there. If you want to retire 76er, you shouldn't have nowhere and no problem being traded to any team in the NBA besides the Los Angeles Clippers. Let's just be honest. That's where you want to be, James Harden. But let's get into this report, right? It says James Harden says, as you guys just saw in the video, he wanted to retire a Sixer. Philadelphia front office had other plans. So let's get into this report and see exactly what other plans the 76ers had, right? It says James Harden discussed his situation with the Philadelphia 76ers with reporters Friday saying he wanted to retire Sixer when he was first traded to the team, but the front office didn't have that in their future plans. Okay, let's get this straight. Anybody is going to want to say that they're going to say the right things when they're first being traded. Things change. I'm quite sure they didn't lure James Harden over there and say, okay, you can come over to this team, but we may trade you in the future. Come on now, James Harden. That don't make no sense. You're going to say when you first got traded to the team. Well, that's everybody's goal. Anybody who's a rookie or someone that got drafted into the organization, they all feel like they are going to be the face and the person that changes that franchise, and that they want to do this for life until life starts happening, right? Let's keep reading. It says Harden has been practicing with the Sixers since the second day of training camp after a turbulent offseason in which he called President of Basketball Operations Daryl Morey a liar and vowed to never be part of an organization that he's a part of. So he's already burned that bridge, which he purposely did. This guy is so ready to go to Los Angeles Clippers that he is willing to burn all bridges, bite the hand that has fed him for years and years in the NBA, and took a chance. They could have brought this man over to the Houston Rockets. Daryl Morey could have brought this man over to the Houston Rockets to literally be the sixth man coming off the bench, the same sixth man that was in OKC. And they made you the face of the organization, man. That's why I tell y'all, man, these cats is spoiled, man. They spoiled, and they just don't understand hard basketball, criticizing basketball, and just being loyal. That's why I'm so happy that Dame Lillard is paired with a guy who eats, sleeps, and breathes that same type of mentality that he does, and they're going to flourish together because they don't think about the limelight as such. They don't care about all that, right? All right. It goes on to say that asked Friday whether he thinks his relationship with the team can be repaired. Harden gave a firm no. And this is something that James Harden is doing because he has to stick to his guns. Okay, I'll show up and play with y'all, but just know that I don't want to be friends with y'all. I want to be in LA because I am rich, spoiled, and I'm James Harden, right? So he's going to keep saying no, even if they are going out of their way to show that they want him to stay. Please know that James Harden is going to do all he can to get out of there and to get to LA. It's not just about this situation, but in life, when you lose trust in someone, it's like a marriage. When you lose trust in someone, it's pretty simple. Okay, so you don't think that you lost trust, that they lost trust in you, James Harden? You the guy who flares out in the playoffs. You're the guy who will miss training and practice to go to a club in Miami. You're the guy who constantly cries and wants your way. You're the guy who is not showing up for them. You're the guy who is breaching the contract. Is that not losing trust for the organization? Are you serious? Right? This dude is crazy. I'm sorry, man. This dude is crazy. It goes on to say the former MVP, Harden, who is 34, wants to be traded to the Los Angeles Clippers and is slated to be a free agent next summer. So either way it go, they can do this the easy way or they can do this the hard way. And Harden knows that. Right? Like I said, this dude is an MVP, 34 years old. Do I think he's a starter? No. I honestly don't. I don't think that he should be a starter. I think that he'd be great coming off the bench. I look at him and Chris Paul the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys can bring something to the table, although I value Chris Paul more than I value James Harden because, yeah, he may not be the most in shape person, but his energy for the game, the way he shows up and hold people accountable, that's something that you can go further with in a playoff stretch than a guy like James Harden, right? So this guy is sticking to his guns and literally, trying his best to be traded to the Los Angeles Clippers. And that's all he wants to do. He could come out and say this. The Clippers can go and treat you the same way, James Harden. But because you are where you are not going to complain. All you want to do is be in LA. And that's just the bottom line. You want to be in LA. And I'm quite sure if there was any type of roster availability over there with the Lakers, your ass will be pressing that, man. The bottom line is this is what this guy wants. It's what he gets. So they can either let this guy go for nothing next summer, or they can at least get some trade value off of him this season. And I believe that obviously he's going to force their hand. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of, right? It goes on to say that's the Harden experience at the moment for the most part. He's playing ball with the Sixers for two reasons, as he doesn't want the organization to have the ability to dip into his pockets, and he wants to show that he's ready to roll for the Clippers whenever and if ever Morey decides to send him. And that's exactly what I just explained to you guys. He's going to keep it professional because he's going to get his way. Unlike most NBA players like Ben Simmons, fragile-minded, weak ass, who shut down and say that they have back problems and they having mental problems so that they can collect the money that they're blowing on the Kardashians on the weekly. James Harden is showing up, right? And I appreciate that. He goes on to say that Harden's media appearance came with similar themes as he avoided getting fined by the NBA. And that's one thing we know. James Harden has a lot of money, but when you're used to making a lot of money, you spend it as quick as you earn it. And I don't think that James Harden is hurting, but you damn sure don't want to give the NBA any reason to recoup any type of finances that you work for and that you are awarded through contract. You just don't want that, right? As he has made clear, his relationship with Morey that has been driving force behind his trade request. So this guy is literally being this sensitive, but in the beginning he says it's a business. Okay, so if we know that it's a business, James Harden, why are you being a quitter? You know how the NBA is. It's no different from the NFL. 1 minute we love you, 1 minute you're disposable. At the end of the day, I get, players want to do what's best for their family, but it's different when you are the player starting shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are the player who is throwing a fit. You know what I'm saying? All these other NBA players can take getting traded. We saw how Drew Holiday handled his situation. You didn't hear this man throwing a fit, and he won a ring with Giannis. He didn't even want to leave. Didn't even know. Giannis didn't even know that they was going to trade Drew Holiday. Obviously, they had to give us something in compensation for Dame Lillard, but I'm just saying, like, the way that other NBA players handle shit versus Harden, it speaks volume, right? The next question here is when we'll see Harden actually playing in the game. While he took part in training camp at Fort Collins, Colorado, he was one of several players who didn't play in the first two preseason games, right? The Sixers play another preseason game in Brooklyn on Monday. So pretty much they're asking, like, where does, it stand with James Harden? I believe James Harden should get his fat ass up and go play basketball, man, right? The Sixers have been very skeptical of the Clippers' ability to meet their trade. And you got to realize, like, they're not going to give your ass up just for some BS, James Harden. At the end of the day, this organization has to look out for them. It's a business after all, remember? And like I said, man, I'll send his ass somewhere. I'll send his ass back to OKC. I'm sorry. Like, man, you want to get out of here that bad? Okay, we'll send you somewhere. The same thing with Dame Dollar. Yes, you saw Damian Lillard gave the organization no problems. Stayed loyal for 10, 11 years. They still did what was best for them. And I believe that if the NBA wants to gain any type of ownership back, any type of power back in this power struggle between players and organizations, they all have to follow this blueprint. I'm sorry, they all have to just get better at saying no or doing what is best. Now, if the Los Angeles Clippers, in which they've already offered a first round, I believe they're trying to offer 2 first round picks and make it a 3-team trade to get this done. But you got to ask yourself, is this that important? Like, what's the ROI on this, right? Why would you go and buy some shit that quits? Why would I go and buy a car that I know every previous owner has had problems with? Why would I go buy that? I don't understand. Maybe I will never understand. But I don't think that the 76ers should trade Harden to his dream destination. I think that they should do what's best for the organization. However, we all know how this may end up. You guys let me know in the comment section what y'all think, man. And like always, man, y'all hit that subscribe button if y'all rocking with the content. You guys know I try my best to deliver what I can when I can. It's been a little slow on my end because of, my sickness and all that, but I am back. And I am trying to push out as many videos as I can a day. So it means a lot to me when y'all hit that subscribe button. If you rock it with the content, y'all let me know in the comment section. Like always, like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Let me know how you charge the game. Peace.